For the Pulumi Deploy and Document challenge, I have built a Pulumi ESC Provider for OpenFeature, which is an open source vendor agnostic API for flag and config management. It provides an API interface for accessing flags and configs from various vendor. And for this challenge, I have decided to use Pulumi ESC as a backend for accessing my configs and secret. For this demo, I have built an Golang application and I will walk you through the Go application. But before that, let me just walk you through few of the features that you get by using this provider. So by using this OpenFeature Provider for Pulumi ESC, you get strongly typed access for all your configs and secrets. So as you know, in Pulumi ESC, we have these configs which could be of various type, right? Though they could be string, bool, integer, and float. They could also be of object type, but for this provider, that support is not yet added, but it's in pipeline, so it would be added really soon. Apart from this, you get built-in support for the default fallback values, right? So let's say you are trying to access an API key from the Pulumi ESC, but it's not yet present, so you can just provide a default value and it will fall back to that, but you will also get details on whether the value was picked because it was not present in the Pulumi ESC or if it was the actual value that was present in the Pulumi ESC. So you can use it however you want. Another benefit, a very major benefit I would say, is you can fetch secrets and configs from various cloud providers. So we usually use a single cloud provider, but there are certain cases where we have to use multiple cloud providers, right? So because Pulumi ESC has very good integration with all the major cloud providers, you can simply use this and fetch configurations or secrets directly from all the cloud providers in a single place. So that's a very good thing you would get by using this. Now let's quickly start the demo, but before that, this is the repository that I have created for this provider. You can check it out, right? Let me quickly go back to the Pulumi Cloud Console, right? So you can see in the configuration I have these two things, configs as well as this AWS key. So if I expand this, so you can see I have these values that I have defined here. So this is a string value, this is an integer value, this is an boolean, this is an float value, and then I also have this open API key, which is a secret type value, right? Apart from this, I also have these AWS related keys. So what I am doing here is I am using OIDC authentication to connect to my AWS account, and from that I am trying to fetch secrets from the AWS secret manager as well as few of the parameters from the AWS parameter store. So the Go application that we have built for this demo, I will just walk you through that, and let me give you an overview of what we are going to do here. So all the things that I've shown you in this configuration, we will try to fetch them in the Go application using the ESC provider that I have built, right? So this is the source code for the demo application that we have built. So let me quickly walk you through what we are doing here. So here we are simply accessing the Pulumi related details that are required for creating an Pulumi ESC provider. So once we have these details, I am just providing them as argument to this function, and then we have our provider ready. Once we have our provider ready, we are just setting it as an default provider for OpenFeature, and once that is done, we can simply create a client on OpenFeature and we are good to go. We can fetch whatever we want from the Pulumi ESC. So here you can see I am trying to access an AWS secret. So if you see here, I am trying to fetch an secret of this particular secret, GitHub access token. So let me quickly show you why I have written it like this. So if you go back to the configuration, you can see within AWS, you can see we have these secrets, and with the secrets we have specified this is the key which will contain the value of this AWS secret. So that's why we are using aws.secrets.github access token, right? So if you go back to the code, let me go here, aws.secrets.github access token. Let me quickly show you the AWS secrets manager console as well. So we have this secret with name GitHub access token. Similarly, we are also trying to fetch some parameters from the AWS parameter store. Then we are trying to fetch the static configs that we have defined in this Pulumi ESC. So one thing to note here, you can see that I have provided this configs as the root key, and under that root key we have these various keys available. So if you look into the code, you can see I have always specified this configs.something, configs.max connection, right? So this is how we are doing. This is not mandatory, this is just what I have used. You can directly use these values at the root level, right? So this is something we are doing. I am trying to fetch all kind of values from the ESC, and then I am also trying to fetch the secret value, and then I am just printing whether that value was secret or not. So this is the code. So for the sake of demonstration, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this particular Go program on my local and then on a Kubernetes cluster. So the reason behind doing this is I just want to show you that this provider can be used anywhere. You can start using them from today. They could be used for your local development, or you can start using them for a production, right? So let's quickly run the demo. So this is the same GitHub repo with the same demo code. You can see, let me try to run this, right? But before running it, I need all these environment variables that are required for getting the provider. So I have all of those environment variables specified within this environment file. So let me source them, env.sh. Now we are good to go. Let me run main.go. Let me maximize this. Okay, so the application has started. Now it will try to fetch the details from the Pulumi ESC. So you can see it's one by one trying to fetch all the details. So it fetched GitHub access token with value GHP ABCD something something. Yeah, so this is just a dummy token, right? Let me go to the AWS Secret Manager console and let's see what was the value that was stored here. So if we retrieved it, it was GHPD something something. Yeah, so this was fetched. Similarly, we got this from the parameter store, and these are the static values that we have specified, right? So this is MongoDB 123 something, then the integer value is 101 for max connection, then debug mode is true, and CPU threshold is 0.85. Quickly check it here as well. So 1.23, max connection 101, debug mode true, CPU threshold 0.85. Then we also have this OpenAPI key secret, which is here in the plain text form after decrypting it, and it is also printing this secret value as true. So our hypothesis was correct, everything is working fine. Now let me terminate this application, and I will try to run this same application inside a Kubernetes cluster. Let me go to here. So I am using Minikube on my local for the Kubernetes cluster. So I have this deployment already running, but I have scaled down the pods to 0. So let me quickly scale it to 1 pod. Okay, let's move to the pods. Okay, so the pod has started, it started running. Let me see what logs we have here. So okay, so the application has started. And it has fetched everything as we expected. So as you can see, everything is working fine. If you want to check out the deployment file for this Kubernetes deployment, you can go back to the same repo, demo repo, and you can find it inside the manifest file, right? Yeah, that's it for the demo. Thank you everyone. Thank you for watching.